Hello, welcome back to STEM School. Today we are going to talk about IT programming language. Okay, first let's take a look at the website. That's the statistics of the IT programming language. So it shows the most used programming language among developers worldwide as of 2023. We are going to briefly talk about each of them today. So to give you some brief introduction of each programming language, to take a look what do they look like and where to use them. So the first one is JavaScript. So it's the most popular programming language according to the statistics. So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a scripting or programming language that allows you to implement complex features on web pages. So it displays timely content updates, interactive maps, animated 2D, 3D graphics, and videos, and so on. So in summary, it's mainly used to create interactive web pages. It's been used for front-end development and back-end development, game development, and artificial intelligence. Okay, so now let's take a look. What does JavaScript look like? So here is the brief example I presented. So you can take a look. Right. So now let's come back to the second one. So HTML, CSS. So what is HTML? So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, so it is the standard markup language for creating web pages. It's been widely used, so when we are visiting the web page, at the back end of it, it's the HTML. Okay. So it describes the structure of our web page, and it consists of a series of elements. So I'm going to show you the example of the HTML elements soon. So, and the next one is CSS. So CSS is the language used to style an HTML document. So HTML defines the structure, okay, so present the content of the web page. And CSS is basically the decoration of the HTML web page, okay, to make it more beautiful, structured, colorful, and so on. There are many functionalities. So let's take a look at the example of HTML and CSS. So this is what they look like. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Python. All right. What is Python? Python is a general purpose language, meaning it can be used to create a variety of different programs and isn't specialized for any specific problems. So this versatility, along with its beginner friendliness, has made it one of the most used programming language today. All right, so we do actually have a course in STEM School for Python, where it is mostly used. So data analysis, machine learning, web development, automation or scripting, software testing or prototyping, and everyday tasks. So it is getting more and more popular recently due to the development of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on. Okay, let's take a look at the example of the Python. Here it is. All right, now let's take a look at the next programming language, SQL. So what's SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. SQL lets you access and manipulate databases. So it's a database language. You can use that for execute queries, retrieve data, insert records, update records, delete records, create new database, new tables, and do some automated operations on the database. All right, so it is widely used. Let's take a look at the example of the SQL language. And it looks like this. So from so far, I will say the basics and non-replaceable programming language that we need to learn so far is SQL, HTML, and Python or JavaScript. Okay, so that they are the most popular programming language so far. And let's take a look at the next one, TypeScript. So what is TypeScript? So TypeScript is a syntactic superset of JavaScript, which adds static typing. This basically means that TypeScript adds syntax on top of JavaScript, allowing developers to add types. So why is that? So JavaScript, as well as Python, so it's a loosely typed language. It can be difficult to understand that what type of data has been passed around in JavaScript. Okay, so in order to make it more structured, that we can avoid errors during our programming, and that's why we introduced TypeScript. Okay, so basically it's a add-on to the JavaScript. So this is how TypeScripts look like. All right, so you can see the difference between TypeScript and JavaScript. Now let's take a look at the next one, Bash shell. So what is Bash shell? So basically it's a script in a file contains a sequence of commands that are executed by the bash program line by line. So it allows you to perform a series of actions such as navigation to a specific directory, creating a folder, and launching a process using the command line. Alright, so we're saving these command lines in a script, and then we can execute the same sequence of steps multiple times just by running the script, so that we don't have to type the command over and over again. So the advantage of Bash script is powerful and versatile tool for automating systems, administration tasks, manage system resources, and performing other routine tasks in Unix, Linux systems. Okay, so here is the example. Because I believe so far you've just used the Windows operating system, so it's a bit different than the Windows operating system, the Unix one. Okay, so let's take a look at Java. So what is Java? Java is a platform-independent, object-oriented programming language. Okay, it's super popular, and it's getting more and more popular in the past few years. A significant benefit to Java is the wide range of tasks it can be used to perform. It is highly beneficial for tasks and projects requiring both high performance and quick turnaround. Okay, so here's the few common tasks for which Java is best suited. Building and running mobile applications, building and scaling cloud applications, developing chatbot and other marketing tools, powering enterprise-level web applications, and supporting artificial intelligence and Internet of Things devices. Okay, Java was used for both front-end and back-end, but now JavaScript is more popular for the developers to use for the front-end applications. But Java is still the most popular one to write back-end applications. So this is how a Java program looks like. Okay, we can take a look at the code. And now let's talk about the next one, C#. So what is C#? C# is a modern object-oriented and type-safe programming language. So it enables developers to develop many types of secure and robust applications that run in .NET. Okay, it's not so popular at this time, but it was very popular in the past. So like the other programming language, C# can be used to create a number of different programs and applications like the mobile apps, desktop apps, cloud-based services, websites, enterprise software, and games. So lots and lots of games. So we can take a look how C# code looks like. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one, C++. C++ is a cross-platform language that can be used to create high-performance applications. Okay, C++ gives programmers a high level of control over system resources and memory. So it can be found in today's operating systems, graphic user interface, and embedded systems. Alright, so it is a very powerful language. So especially today's embedded systems, for example, we are talking about, it could be the vehicle embedded system. That's one of the example. It could be written in the C++. All right, so let's take a look at the sample code. That's what a C++ code looks like. Okay, so and now let's take a look at the next one, C. The C language is a high-level general-purpose programming language. Again, it's an excellent choice for system programming, for example, developing operating systems, compiler, and network drivers. All right, it's similar as the C++. So the difference is really that C++ was developed as an extension of C. and both languages have almost the same syntax. The main difference between these two languages is that C++ supports classes and objects, while C does not. Okay, so C is really being used quite straightforward for some fundamental functionalities. And here is what the C code looks like. Okay, so now let's talk about the final one I want to present here, PHP. So in the old days, PHP was more popular than JavaScript. So it's a widely used open source general purpose scripting language that is especially suited for web development and can be embedded into HTML. Okay, what distinguishes PHP from something like client-side JavaScript is that the code is executed on the server, generating HTML, which is then sent to client. The client would receive the result of running that script, but would not know what the underlying code was. Okay, so that's the big difference between PHP and JavaScript. So, but it's not so popular at this time. So I would say we should learn JavaScript nowadays instead of PHP, unless there's something specific program you hope to write in PHP. Let's take a look at the example of PHP code here. Okay. Great, so that's everything I want to present today. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe STEM School and click like if you like this video. Thank you. See you next time.